Hey there, dudes and dudettes. Gather round for a tale about the man, the myth, the legend, Don Quixote. Picture this. A dude named Alonso Quijano, totally obsessed with books about knights. We're talking swords, sorcery, damsels in distress, the whole 9 yards. This guy lived for those stories. He read them day and night. He dreamt about them. He probably even quoted them in his sleep. Now, Alonso wasn't exactly what you'd call all there. His brain was basically a medieval fantasy land. He started thinking, hey, why am I just reading about this stuff? I should be it. And that, my friends, is where things got interesting. Alonso decided to become a knight himself. He dusted off some rusty old armor, found himself a beat-up horse, which he named Rocinante, and bam, Don Quixote was born. Of course, every knight needs a noble quest. Don Quixote's? To right wrongs, protect the innocent, and win the heart of his beloved Dulcinea, who, spoiler alert, was actually just a farm girl he had a crush on. So, our man set off on his trusty steed, ready to face any danger that came his way. Little did he know things were about to get complicated. Don Quixote's first big adventure is the stuff of legends, or maybe just legends in his own mind. See, our boy was riding along, minding his own business, which, let's be honest, usually involved imagining things, when he spotted them, giants, huge, monstrous, terrifying giants. Except, plot twist, they weren't giants at all. They were windmills, you know, those big, white, spinny things. But Don Quixote, with his head full of knightly tales, was convinced they were evil monsters. He charged at them full speed, lance lowered, ready to take them down.
Have at thee, foul giants!
Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. Rocinante, the horse, remember, got all tangled up in the windmill's sails. Don Quixote went flying through the air, and the whole thing ended in a spectacular faceplant of epic proportions. This, my friends, was just a taste of things to come. Don Quixote's journey was full of these misunderstandings. He saw danger and adventure everywhere, even when there was nothing there. But hey, give the guy some credit. He was nothing if not persistent. Now, you can't have a knight-errant without a trusty squire, right? Enter Sancho Panza, a chubby, kinda grumpy, but ultimately good-hearted farmer who agreed to be Don Quixote's right-hand man.
Well, I guess if there's treasure or a fancy island in it for me, I'm in.
Sancho wasn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. He once mistook a basin for a magical helmet. But he was loyal to a fault and, let's face it, provided some much-needed comic relief. Sancho knew Don Quixote was a little, shall we say, imaginative. But he went along with it anyway, hoping to maybe snag some treasure or a fancy island along the way. He was constantly trying to talk sense into Don Quixote, but more often than not, he just ended up getting caught up in his crazy schemes. Talk about a tough gig, right? Together, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza embarked on a series of hilarious misadventures. They fought sheep, mistaking them for armies, attacked wineskins, thinking they were giants again, and generally made a nuisance of themselves wherever they went. But hey, that's what happens when you mix chivalry, delusion, and a whole lot of imagination. Don Quixote and Sancho Panza, they got up to all sorts of shenanigans. Once they stumbled upon a bunch of friars escorting a coffin. Naturally, Don Quixote assumed the worst, evil knights, a kidnapped princess, you name it.
Stand back, villains, I shall save the day.
Another time they wandered into a forest and got tangled up in a whole love triangle drama. Don Quixote, being the chivalrous and slightly delusional knight he was, tried to intervene. He attacked the friars, freaking everyone out only to discover it was just a dude being buried. Awkward!
Fear not, fair lady, I shall rescue you.
Despite all the mishaps, Don Quixote never gave up on his knightly ideals. He saw himself as a hero, fighting for justice and protecting the weak, even if the weak were just sheep or windmills. And hey, you got to admire his optimism, right? Even when he was flat on his back, covered in bruises, he still believed in the power of chivalry and adventure. It ended with him getting beaten up by a shepherd. Not exactly knightly behavior, but hey, at least he tried.
You know, sometimes I wonder if we're actually making things better or just causing more trouble.
And that, my friends, is the story of Don Quixote, a man who turned his dreams into reality, one hilarious mishap at a time.